It's the Simpleton Podcast with Jack and Zach.
Hold on. Cut the cough out. Okay, hold on. I usually start these by going, hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Simpleton Podcast. I'm Jack, and with me, as always, my co-host, Dum Dum Give Me Gum Gum.
Gum, give me gum.
Did you like that? I threw that together like last second.
That's what you came up. I mean, yeah, that's pretty good for last second. I mean,
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was between that and another one, but I think I'm gonna save the other one for the next pod. You guys are gonna have to listen if you want it next time, if you want to know what it is.
is that what he says? He just says, "You are dumb. You are dumb. Give me gum."
You are dumb dumb, give me gum gum. And then he shows up with the big ball of gum and just sticks it in the mouth.
Who starts a conversation like that? Anyway, how you expecting
No,
Ben Stiller to give
I
you the
always
gum if you're gonna act like an
pictured
asshole like that? Call him
I always
dumb.
pictured that's how you walked up to kids on the playground in elementary school.
Well, I was also in elementary school, not as an adult.
Oh no. I mean, yeah, you were also in elementary school, but I imagine you look just like you do now,
Oh, like
but
it's like
in
George
elementary
Lopez.
school.
Is like do I have like the head I have now, but on like a child's body?
No, it's not even. It's you now, like adult body and adult head. I know, yeah, it's like adult body and kid head. And you go up
Oh,
and say, "Dum dum, give me
oh,
gum."
it's a reverse George Lopez. I see.
I bet in elementary school you looked like a Clarissa.
What's a
Did people call
Calissa?
you Clarissa? Clarissa? No, like that would be your name.
What does that mean?
I don't know. That just kind of seems like the kind of kid you were.
What is a Clarissa?
No, not like you're starting it out like I'm saying like clit something. I'm saying Clarissa.
I know. I'm saying Clarissa. What is a Clarissa?
It sounded like you were. Why are you saying it like it's like a
What is a
female
Clarissa?
anatomy part? Why are you
You're saying
saying
it
it
like
like
it's a noun, like not a name. You're the ones.
you were saying it so weird? Like, say it again.
Clarissa.
Well, now you're saying it normal, but
Clarissa.
like everyone who heard that, you were saying it like it's a like a woman anatomy body bit.
Chlamydia.
Yeah, wait.
No, what does that
Yeah,
mean though?
wait.
Who is this Clarissa
No,
that
it's
I am
just a
like?
name. No, like
No,
I
but what
don't
does that
know if
mean though?
Clarissa. It just looks like that'd be your name,
What are you talking
or like
about?
Boris or
Explain.
something.
Explain. How do I look like How do I look like both a Clarissa
I,
and a
yeah,
Boris?
no, I was just saying that's probably what you looked like when you were in elementary school. No,
I'm
like
actually
okay,
getting pissed off. What are you What are you talking about? What do you mean? What does a Clarissa look like?
no, I mean,
Like,
okay, like
what do you
you
mean?
didn't actually look like that, but like, okay,
No,
if
what
you
do I look
were,
like? What do I look like? What do I look? What is a Clarissa? What does a Clarissa look like?
don't know. I mean, I imagine it looks like an adult man's body with a child's head on it.
That's a Clarissa.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Okay, because
I don't
This
know
isn't
how you
even
get
funny.
out of
This is
that.
just ridiculous. This is
Yeah,
not
no,
even.
you were genuinely getting mad.
'Cause I don't know what you're talking
Like,
about. What do you mean?
I
You're
have.
just saying things. You're just saying things that don't make any sense.
Well, I guess they can add this in later down the line when we're having compilations. They can do Jack makes Zach mad
Jack
25 or
gaslighting Zach
25 minutes.
compilation.
Yeah, let's get on that. I think once we
Gaslighting
have a couple
compilation.
more episodes that we can start pumping out compilations,
Yeah.
making extra revenue.
Yeah. This will
Off.
definitely be like a YouTube short, like preview of the podcast.
I have a few things like last episode. I have a few things I need to address before we get started.
Okay, this is the cleaning up the bell ringer. This is the intro.
Okay, so first I gotta say that me and Frankie have beef right now,
I'll explain.
and if he fucks up like this one more time, he's actually out. We were joking around last time about kicking him out, but this time I'm being serious. There was a point in the podcast where I said, and I quote, can we put, this isn't quoting more, but basically what I said was, I said, could we put clapping sound effects in? And I said, do we have the technology for that? And Zach, you said, yeah. And then I was like, oh, that's so cool. And then we can just add that in. And I was sitting there like an idiot. There were no clap sound effects put in. I just heard myself sounding like an idiot going, woo, woo. So Frankie, what are you even doing?
Yeah, I mean, Frankie really dropped the ball on that one.
I was
I
kind of
bet
upset.
he just thought you wouldn't notice. I bet he just thought, nobody would care. He's
Frankie, I'm coming for Frankie's ass, dude. Like he's being called out. Like if he fucks up, if he goofs on me in the sequel, he's out of the game. And then second, well, no, and okay, so something happened to me today, like when I was leaving. Okay, so I left work and I went to Game Exchange. Game Exchange is kind of like a GameStop. You can go trade in games, but you can also trade in movies there. And we have like two
bunch of
where
other
we
crap.
live.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of it's kind of turned. Yeah, it's just kind of like a thrift store at this point, but they like mark up everything like really high. And I went there because I wanted to trade in a game. And it was still a relatively new game. I had a lot of fun with the game, but I finished it. I was like, if I want to replay it, I'll just buy it again when it's cheaper. It was shoot, I think it's called it's like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, that Borderlands thing.
Yeah.
So I was trading it in, and the guy looked at it because he like put it into the system or whatever, and he was like, "This game says the trade-in's $20," and he was looking at one of his coworkers like that was blasphemy, like a
Too
somewhat
much?
new game. That's not even that good of a price.
Yeah, that's terrible.
$20, but like it was, but still, it was, it was like a new, like, it was a newer game, so it makes sense why it was so high. And he said that to like one of his coworkers, and then she didn't even really look down at what the game was, and she kind of like, just kept walking and like shrugged at him. And then he was like, okay. And I said, because he seemed so confused, and I said, well, it's a pretty new game. And he goes, must have been trash because I've never heard of it. And
Damn.
I let that slide, but I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, that was actually kind of rude. Like, he wasn't busting my balls or anything. He was just being a dick.
Yeah.
I said something. I said something like, I actually really liked it. Whatever. Like, because it was awkward after he said that, and I just felt like I had to say something. And he said, "You must like trash games."
What the fuck? They don't give a shit at Game Exchange.
Yeah, no, not anymore. There used to be a lot of love and care at those
Yeah, Game
places.
Exchange used to be cool. Like this was like, because GameStop is just they've fallen off like years ago. Game Exchange was actually pretty cool. Like the people there seemed pretty nice. Like the prices for stuff was like decent, and like you'd actually find some like rare, like I like to collect steel books, which are like steel cases for movies and games, and I'd find some rare ones there, and they were like a decent price. But it's like now I guess I just get like eBay prices or something.
Well, yeah, that's what it seems like. Because if you went in there, I feel like that this has been their direction for like the last it's been a while now. But like before they started like doing the things that they were doing, like you could probably walk into Game Exchange and buy a Silent Hill game for $10, and now they have it marked up to like 200, like 130, 200 eBay prices, and nobody is going to buy those there because the whole thing was like you're getting good deal and you might find rare thing. That was what the store was, but now it's just eBay prices. And you're going to find rare stuff in there because everything is overpriced. Everything's eBay prices. It's all rare shit. I'm pretty sure they go and actually buy stuff. Well, this is an accusation, not talking slander. Well, no, wait, this is my theory before Game Exchange comes after the podcast. So I feel like they actually do buy things from like eBay, or it's like stuff from like the owner's personal collection, and that's why they have so much expensive stuff now. Because it's like,
Maybe.
I don't think a lot of people would be trading those things in. Like, if it's like that expensive of a game, they probably give them not even half for it. Like, the people aren't doing that. But you want to know what I left? What I came home with?
Oh, what?
From Game Exchange? Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. The guy actually made
What?
me mad.
Wait, so
Like,
you said I don't want to trade it anymore?
Yeah, I was going to take the lowball offer of $20. I was gonna take that, but I wasn't gonna take this man being a dick. I was just like, never mind. I think I want to keep it, and I grabbed it and just kind of looked at him and walked away. I came real close to calling him like a shim sham man. Like, I wanted to act like a lunatic for a second just to see what happened. I wanted to leave that store looking like the town freak, but I didn't go that far.
Apparently, they just hire anybody there now.
Yeah, that guy didn't even look like he like. I mean, but he will not like he has the good taste.
Right? Yeah,
I
he's the arbiter of taste.
I would understand him not knowing a video game from one of the most popular video game franchises.
Yeah. Did you know they used to have a store in Vicksburg? I happened to be there for various reasons, and like I saw it was there. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Like a week after that, I decided to go there, and like it was closed. Like they just closed it because they're failing, I guess.
Oh,
'Cause
it's
they keep
gone
trying
for like
Yeah, it's gone for good. Yeah,
I didn't
they're just
even.
losing locations now because
Well,
they just I don't know.
was
Completely
this like a
lost all
recent
of it.
thing? Like, how recent was this? Because I had no idea either.
Yeah, it was like months ago, a couple months ago.
Oh,
So yeah, it was like after they started doing the bringing guitars or vinyls or and shit like that,
oh,
comics.
they do. I think they do CD. Well, they do CDs now, and they also sell cassette tapes. I'm pretty sure. I know for a fact it's CDs, but it's like now they're just actually getting to the bottom of the barrel shit that nobody
Well,
cares
yeah,
about.
it's like the prices aren't
Like, a
even
vinyl
good.
makes sense because it's like people buy vinyls because they're like it's like an aesthetic thing and it's cool. But then like CDs, nobody has a use for a CD.
Yeah.
Like vinyls and I guess cassette tapes make sense, but like CDs, like you like that is actually just shit quality for no reason. Like
Yeah,
it
it's like
makes
they just have rows. They have so many DVDs in those stores. I don't know. They must eventually have to just throw some out, right? Like they'll have like
well
50 copies of fucking fucking like I don't know, like Over the Hedge.
I went in there. I don't think they throw those out because it's like I went in and it was like 60 copies of Click starring Adam Sandler. And I'm pretty sure two of them were like used to like somebody wiped their ass with them. Like they were covered in like peanut
Here's
butter.
another thing. Half the time I will get like if sometimes I will go in there and get something like maybe it's like a box set. Like I've gone in there for like a box set. I think it was like for a Star Trek season or something. And
Mhm.
they don't have one of the discs in the thing. So they're just like, can't sell it. We just don't have one of the discs. Like
I
half the
mean,
time they
would
don't
you have
have the
bought
disc
it?
for any of the things.
Like, would you have bought it though if like without the disc?
Without the disc? No, probably not. Unless it was like a
Yeah,
steelbook.
like they. I don't know. It's just it's not the same. I kind of miss how it used to be. It was actually kind of cool. Um,
Yeah.
but that was my game exchange experience for today. Um, if you're ever in, I won't tell you the address. Never mind.
Yeah,
Say
the
you
exact address.
go. Yeah, go. What if I did?
Do you have that guy's social security number and his name?
I just start reading off his ID. I took his ID.
I just swiped it. I swiped it when I swiped the game back.
And then I think I had one more thing I wanted to discuss very briefly.
Okay.
Okay, so piggybacking on the last episode, right? Would you fuck a zombie if you knew for a fact it would cure everybody?
Cure everybody of what? Zombieism?
Like it ends the zombie apocalypse. Yeah, you just have to fuck a zombie, but
Oh,
only you can do it.
yeah.
So you would.
Is this just a roundabout way to get me to say yes to that question?
Well, I mean, is that what you just said? You would?
Yeah, in that specific situation, yes.
That's fucking disgusting.
Oh. Would you?
I mean, it saves everybody.
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, I could probably use that to my advantage for a little bit.
What does that mean?
Like, I imagine it's
Are you gonna hold it
like,
hostage? Like say, I'm not gonna fuck it until you guys do this.
I mean, yeah, pretty much. I could hold the entire world hostage.
That's fucked up. That's more fucked up than the act itself.
No, it's not. They're trying to force me to fuck a zombie. That's necrophilia.
Sure.
But last episode, I said we'd do it, boys. We got him to say it. We got him to admit
It only took one
that
episode.
he wants to fuck a zombie.
Such a hypocrite.
But I'm glad we got that out of the way. I was afraid that was going to turn into like an every episode kind of thing. I was going to have to come up with situations.
Yeah, no, that would have got stale pretty fast, I think.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad we cleared that up pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay. But so me and you, we've known each other for a while.
Yep.
Almost a decade, I'd say. We go pretty back. Now, me and Zach, after we were already friends at this point, but we started working at a Subway food establishment. Zach was already there. I think he kind of got me the job. And then I started working there. And I was thinking maybe we could talk about that some.
Yeah, our Subway experiences.
Our Subway experience. Oh, I should have done the intro. Wait, can we redo the intro and then you can just like...
You want to? Do you really want to?
Oh no, we don't. We can just leave this in. I'll just say because I could have called you like Jared Fogle or something.
Yeah, that would have been much better. I would have loved that.
But
yeah, Subway. We have this boss. We don't like doxing people on this program.
his name rhymed with Damon.
Why would you say that? We're just gonna
And he
call.
had a son.
We're just gonna call him
named-
Damon.
He had a son named. It rhymed with Diane, spelled Dyan.
Brilliant.
You can figure out what that is. And his wife. Okay, no, I think I'm done. I
Okay,
think
I think you don't need to give the whole family tree.
I mean, I could have kept going. I'm pretty sure I met his mom at one point. But our boss, Damon, he was a character.
He didn't give a shit. Okay, like half the time I worked there, like if it was just me and him, because usually it was, because like every time someone would start working there, they get like fired or leave after like a month maybe. And like he always kept like only one person at the store at a time, which is like a horrible, awful idea, especially at Subway. But
Why?
like half the time
what?
he was just in the back watching Friends. It was always Friends. I think sometimes it was Dragon Ball Z. I think no wait. One time he did ask me, he said, "You watch Dragon Ball Z?" And I said no. And he said, "Oh man,
I'm
shit."
watching it in the back. You want to join?
You want to just stop working? Go watch it in the back.
But yeah, when you because you had a job before Subway or was that your first job?
I worked at Kroger for like a month, and that was like
okay.
in high like that was like maybe like sophomore freshman year, and then there was a gap between that and then I started working at Subway.
How long were you at Subway before I started working there? Because we didn't work together because I think maybe this is when you were going to college. Because we worked together for like a little bit.
It's like maybe less than a year.
Because then I stayed after you left, and we also had this coworker. I'm not gonna say his name because he's actually pretty cool, but he would come up with the most bullshit excuses to get out, and every weekend he said he had a grandfather dying in the Zimbabwe mountains. Like every weekend, And Damon would just go, okay, yeah, just could tell to just keep me updated. Like that guy, like he let that guy do whatever the fuck he wanted. But I felt like with me and Zach, it was different. I don't know what he was doing that made him like top dog, but there was
Just didn't give a shit.
there was a he would sit back there and he would watch Friends, and then it would just be us and him in the store, but like we hardly worked together only because he only wanted to have one person on the clock at a time.
Yes,
Like
he was like actually a cheapskate. But I mean, that store was like pretty low traffic anyway, most of the
he
time.
and he was kind of like a shim sham man. Like he paid us in brown bags full of cash.
Oh yeah, he did. He paid me. Okay, when I first started working there, he like had to get my social security for like to like I guess pay taxes to IRS or whatever. And like, he would always pay me in cash, and then later on when I had to get my W-2 to like for like tax shit and like school shit, I found out he put in my social security wrong. It was one off, so
Well, because
I asked him about it. He's just like, oh, you must have gave it to me wrong. Like, no, no, I didn't. It's my social security number.
And when he would give you checks rarely, wouldn't they bounce?
Oh yeah, one time he asked me to come in to work like a week that I was like off from school in college, and I just came in with a fucking t-shirt that I was from home because nobody gave a shit, and he he paid me for that week with a check that bounced, and I got charged for it. And like, listen, Damon, you have to pay me back, and plus the money that bounced. He's like, damn, okay, I'll get back to you. And I had to like wait at the store like 3 times before he would actually meet me there.
There was one time, it was like my first week, and his wife was actually really sweet.
And she actually did work, like actually
yeah, she actually
managed
cared.
things.
And I was in the back, and at Subway there is this bread machine that you put the frozen bread in, and it like thaws it and kind of makes it poofy. I don't really know the science of it, but like there's this bread machine in the back, and it's called a retarder. And I remember it was like my first week, and his wife was telling me to put bread in the retarder, but I just heard retarder, and I turned around and I said, "What did you call me?" And then she started laughing and pointed at the bread machine and was like, "No, the retarder." And I was like, "Oh."
Uh-huh.
Like, I think she thought I was the biggest idiot.
Okay, yeah, she explicitly said, I think, that like, because I think I was with like the manager or one of the like higher people that been there a long time was a woman. She said something along the lines of how boys don't know how to do shit in the kitchen or something. So I think she just treated any male employee like they were an idiot. She kind of treated me like an idiot.
Wait, earlier before I forget, when you were talking about the check bouncing,
Yeah.
before you said that, I thought you were, because like you started to say a word that started with like a "k" sound, and in my head I thought you were about to say that there was a point where Demon was trying to pay you in cookies.
You know, I'm so pissed off that I didn't just take cookies at the end of the night because there were always cookies just left over, and I'm like that nobody wants these crusty cookies in the morning. I should have just taken some before I left. That's what I honestly should have done.
I'm surprised you didn't, because there were nights where I'd be leaving and I would be taking like 2 dozen cookies.
He would reuse so much bread and cookies for the next day. People would complain about it being stale. He's like, "Oh, sorry." He just didn't. I just didn't give a shit.
He there was another time where I was in the back, and his wife was back there, and she was like mopping or something, and she kept bumping into me, and I don't really know
Oh no. Yeah.
why,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know what your own knowing.
Okay, go. Go ahead.
But I don't know, she was doing this, and like there was a point where she was mopping away from me, and like it was so awkward. Like, because it was like from my standpoint, the way she would talk to me for a little bit, like when I was like first there, I thought she hated me. So it was just really awkward to be in the room with her, and she kept bumping into me and like would apologize, and then I would just be like, "Oh, it's okay." And then because I was like doing something in the back, I can't remember if I was doing dishes or what, but we were both back there, and I look over at her and I go, I don't know, I was probably like 16, right? I think I was like or 17 maybe
Yeah.
when I was working there. I look at her and I go, "I like your pants."
That was your line. What
Yeah,
did she say to
that was
that?
what I said to her. She said, "Oh, thanks."
Okay, Liz. I think there was some trouble at home. I'm gonna be real between the two of them.
Oh yeah, no, I'm pretty sure Damon did not take care of their kid dying the way that he should have. Damon would like, okay, so there would be times where he would leave us alone, and Damon would just, but we wouldn't have keys to lock the store, and Damon would leave, and he'd be like, "I'll be back before closing," right? And
Oh
we
yeah.
closed at like 9 p.m. And I'd be sitting there until 11 o'clock or almost midnight, still waiting for the guy. And then he would come back wearing Aladdin pants. And then I would just be like, and I'd probably text him like 20 or 30 times, and he'd be giving me back like these passive aggressive responses like the entire time. And I'm just like,
yeah.
I've been here for almost 3 hours, like extra hours. And then I'd be like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "It's almost midnight." And then he'd be going, "Okay, buddy, chill." And I'm just like, but then
Fuck you.
he would say like the most like shitty things to me, like making me feel like I was the asshole. And he would show up in his Aladdin pants, and he would like come over to me, and I'd be like sitting down because at this point I have all the closing stuff done, and he'd be like, "If you have time to sit, you have time to clean." And then he would ask me if I was
God.
clocked in, like making sure, like he would like pressure me and be like, "If you were clocked in, I'm gonna be really upset."
Yeah, no,
But I'm like, I
cheap
was
as
here
shit.
for 3 extra hours.
There were so
He
many
looked like
times where
Bugsy 3D.
what is that? Wait, okay, I see. I guess I get what you mean. Not really, but there were so many times where it was like an hour before closing because we had to we had to do that bread retarder thing where I had to take out a specific amount of of the frozen bread to put in there, and like I was always supposed to like text him like an hour before closing, asking how much of each kind, the
Oh
wheat and the
yeah.
white, and like most of the time he would not fucking respond, and like I would text again and again, and then I would have to call him multiple times, and eventually he'd pick up and be like, "Oh, sorry, man, I was sleeping." Like 20 minutes after closing. And like one time I was just getting so pissed off, I called his wife, and she was just like, "He won't pick up." She just told me how much to take out. There was so
She
many
didn't
times
even
like
know
that.
where he was
She
most
didn't
of the
know,
time.
yeah.
And
She was like, one time she was like, he was supposed to be there, like he's supposed to be there with you right now. It was always shit like that. There was so much
no wonder she
miscommunication.
thinks like men don't know how to do anything. Like she was married
Well,
to the
yeah.
biggest asshole. But there was one time I was trying to get a hold of him because I needed him to come lock the store, and he FaceTimed me,
Yeah.
and he was laying in bed without a shirt. And I'm pretty sure, like, you could see the glow of the TV on him from his side. And I think he was watching Friends, and he was just laying there without a shirt. And he said, "Okay, I'll be up there soon." And then he would be there like an hour later with his like Aladdin pants, and he would just like have like a random shirt, like his family reunion 2005 T-shirt or something random.
Have you ever heard the expression, um, the my boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I shit on company time.
Yeah.
That's a thing for a reason. Now, one time,
I
one
never
time
shit in that toilet.
I had to. I was there working there for like 8 or 10 hours or something, like a really long time, and it was middle of the day, and I was the only one there the entire fucking day. Like I don't know why he does this because it's like if I have to shit, I have to shit. Even if I just have to go to the bathroom or like I have to take a break to like eat or something. Like if a customer comes in, I can't do anything. So like I had to go, and I'm like, what do I do? So I literally just I made like I got a piece of paper and I wrote like be back shortly. And
Well,
I
no,
locked the
but see,
door. I just go to the bathroom and there was someone waiting out there.
because for the longest time, I actually would not go shit there when I'd be working 8 or 10 hours because Damon because
Me, Damon.
like early on, yeah, like he made it seem like if I like fucked up, I was out of there, and so like I just wouldn't shit for a while, and then I at the rest of the time I was at Damon's store, which I need to talk about the end of my tenure there. But the rest of the time I was there, and then I ended up moving subways. I worked at two subways, and like, yeah, I would just write a sign and I would just say, I'm in the bathroom, TTYL.
Now, you said you worked at another store. Wasn't there an experience you had where you were working there and Damon came in?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I don't know if it's like this at every subway, but the subways here, especially, because all the owners know each other. And there was a time where, okay, because the owner at the other subway, she was also very much like leaving, only having one person on the clock at a time. Like she had a lot of the same patterns as men. But there was one time where she wasn't there and I was all alone, and Damon comes in, right? And he goes, the owner said that I could borrow some salami or something like that. It was like salami or pepperonis. I think it might have been pepperonis. He said the owner says that I could borrow some pepperonis, and I'm like, oh, okay, Damon. And I go into the back and I call her, and she's like, don't give that man pepperonis.
He just came in to steal some pepperonis
Yeah, like
from the
he
rival
like
Subway.
I hadn't seen him in like maybe a year and a half. And the next time it's him like sneaking in and he's trying to steal pepperonis. Like that is the last like interaction I had with that man. When I was working at his store, the reason I moved to Subways was because Zach was long gone at this point. It was October. Like I remember the scene very clearly. It was like October, and I had like the morning shift, so I had to go in at like 8 a.m. and be open by 9. And I go in there, and oh, well, no, I think usually in the morning, because yeah, I didn't have a key. So usually in the morning, his wife was there. And so, but then she would just leave pretty much immediately after like we open. And I show up to the store. The door is locked. All the lights are turned off. There are like construction men in there. And I looked down and the fucking floor was gone. I had no prior notice that he was going to like destroy the floor in the middle of the night and just be closed down. In my head, I'm like, oh, this is kind of job security, right? I'm like the only employee at this point, and they always have me alone. I'm like, this is pretty good. And then without telling me, they just fucking demolished the floor. And I text Damon, and I'm like, oh, classic Damon, one of his goofs. And I call him, and he just doesn't he's not answering my calls, but I text him and I'm like, I sent him a picture and I'm like, hey, are you aware this is happening? And he says, oh yeah, we'll be open back up in 2 weeks. And I
It
was
was
like,
not 2 weeks.
it was not 2 weeks. I waited a while because I was still in high school at this point, so like I didn't like need a job desperately at that point. And so I waited a while, and 2 weeks go by, and I'm like, hey, big man, are we opening back up soon? And he goes, yeah, in about 2 months. And then I waited another 2 months. And then I think I text him again, and he tells me it's another long period of time, like elongated, like 10 months or something. And then eventually I call him, and I'm like, Damon, is this store like, are you done? And he goes, yeah, I just didn't know how to tell you.
Would it be okay? All the other
That store
things,
was closed for like 5 years. That store was closed
all
for
the
a
other
long.
things, he's just lazy. But that is actually just a piece of shit move. What an
Like,
actual scumbag.
if he would have told me like not like 2 weeks is still kind of shitty, but just in advance that this was going to happen
Just
and
no
start looking for
warning.
another job, like was that just an overnight decision? He was just like, I'm going to destroy the floor. I don't even think they replaced it. I think he just destroyed it. And then they've been closed. I don't know if they've opened back up yet, but
Yeah,
they
they're
were
open. I see
closed.
people in there.
Oh, okay. We had a plan one time where we were just gonna go steal the rug.
Yeah, they always put it out to dry, whatever.
And we were just gonna record how mad Damon got. We were gonna hide behind the dumpster.
I tell you, one time I had to mop up some pee in that store. It was his son Diane's pee.
Well, I thought you were about to... Never mind.
Wait, you thought he peed on the floor? He said, "Clean up my pee on the floor."
Clean
Clean up my pee, Zach. Clean up my pee. You work for me.
That sounds like something he'd do, though. like you're like sitting down on your break and you just feel like a weird sticky fleshy thing, and you look over and it's his ball sack. He just put it on your neck while you were on break.
Just a little prank to keep you on your toes. Make sure you're paying attention.
That seems like something he would have done. But like during the store being closed for like 8 years, I remember there was a one point during like the 2 month period. I think he was like 2 weeks was over. Now it's 2 more months, and I was just kind of like, hey. And I asked him earlier, but this is like when it like kind of got annoying. It was already annoying, but like I think me and you were sitting down in a McDonald's when I was texting him, like having this conversation with him. He was trying to like gaslight me, telling me that I had gotten paid the last time. And then eventually he agreed to give it to me, and he said he was going to meet me somewhere with it. And he just stood me up. And then you had to I think he said he was going to come to that McDonald's and drop it off, but he never showed up. And then he like eventually was just, and like later he said, oh, sorry, man, I got caught up doing something. And then he was probably just asleep though. And then eventually I call him and he doesn't answer. And then I call him again. And then he says that I have to go to his other Subway store. And his other we didn't even know he had, I don't think we knew he had another Subway store. Or maybe you had to have driven to it at one point before. But remember it was like in like an airport or something?
It was like in the capital. Like it
Oh,
was like, yeah, it was just like in like downtown, like inside this like, I guess it was like a government building or something.
yeah, no, because
It was
like
inside of something bigger.
there were like a lot of, well, I just remember there was like security like cop people in there, and they all looked like, all the other buildings around it looked like if you were to just go up and touch the doorknob, you were getting arrested for something. But then there was just Subway in the middle. That's all I remember. Like it looked like a super serious building.
They own that Subway, and then they own this piece of shit other one that nobody goes to.
Well, I think his wife is usually at the other Subway. Like she's there.
Well, yeah,
probably
busting ass.
way-
Every
And
time
then
it was either one of them.
Damon.
Like, she would always be doing tons of work every time she was there, and also half the time their son would be there with them, and she would have to also take care of him at the same time, like in the back. And then if it was him, it was always just he was just sitting in the back watching Friends on his iPad.
I just remember their son. He always was walking around dressed like Toad from Mario.
That's kind of accurate.
He really he was that kid was amazing.
Yeah, there was one time there was an inspector came when she
Oh,
and their
God.
son was there, and like
Wait, was it when you were cleaning his pee up off the floor?
no, but it was like he was back there, and she saw him coming up, and she's like, oh shit, and she's like telling me to do all this stuff, but she like grabs him and hides him in the office because I guess he can't be there for the inspection. Probably Damon didn't tell her about the inspector or something. She just had no preparation.
It was he just walks in and there's just dying soaked piss all over the place.
There's just
And he's
piss.
like, "What is that smell?"
Floors like ripped out.
and you
There's
hear it's all
stale bread.
sticky.
There's stale bread. And there were also mice. I remember. One time I saw a fucking mouse run across the ground. I texted him. He's like, "Oh, that's cool." I don't know if he ever did anything about it because I saw it again another night.
Would you be scared to close up alone because you were trapped in there with a mouse?
Well, yeah, like I knew where it would always come out. I'd just be looking there, like waiting.
Wait, did you know at Subway they got rid of the seafood sensation?
God,
that was my favorite one.
I don't know how you could eat that after making
it.
That and the tuna.
I like the tuna too. Like those are. It's weird because those are my two favorite like sandwiches.
Those were disgusting to make. It smelled so bad.
There were times when I would lick the gloves after.
You did not. You did not. Okay, you had to pour out this disgusting pink liquid, and then you dump the tuna, and then you rip it out apart with your hands.
Okay, that was a joke, but I did used to like just eat it like by itself. That's the processed crab meat. Like I would like eat it out of the. I'm not gonna say I ate it out of the thing, but like I like basically like it was my favorite thing. I would put honey mustard and ranch and black olives and lettuce and tomatoes. Oh, I miss that so much. This episode is dedicated to the seafood sensation at Subway. I
don't know why.
Because we're, if anyone's gonna bring it back, it's gonna be us.
Did you
Simpleton.
Did you just make was that your free sandwich?
Zach, I don't think you understood. I made myself 5 free sandwiches a day.
Yeah, no, I shouldn't have stuck to the rules so much. I was just like, I guess I was just like, because that was my first real job. I wanted to be like on his good side. I was like, because they had this stupid rule. It had to be like a half foot, and it had to be like it could only be like 4 things. It had to be like meatball, ham, turkey. And that was it. And you couldn't put like extra cheese or bacon on it. It had to be this really specific thing. It's why I always did that. I always stuck to the rules. I should have, but it's like they just throw out all this bread and cookies at the end of the in the morning. So I don't know why I didn't just do that.
Did anyone ever come in and try to like negotiate on their order prices?
No, but there were so many times where people were
like,
that's a lot. Wow, that's a lot.
Like there was one time in particular. Most of the time, I would stick by that. Most of the time, and be like, "Sorry, I can't do that." But then, if hot girl discount, you see a girl and like you give her like the 15% off, and she's like, there was one time I did that, and this girl looked up at the menu and she said, "That's not what the price is up there," and I'm like, there's a whole line, and I'm like, I'm doing a nice thing. Like, why are you complaining? Please stop. These people are going to hear you. And then I eventually just like. I was gonna change it back, but then I was like, no, that's just the price for today. And then she eventually
that's interesting. I should come back again on the same day.
And then it was there was this guy who used to come in, and he was like this older man, and he would just want one of the little Subway like cup things, and he would want like 2 scoops of tuna in it. And I would have to make up like a special price for him. And the thing with that guy was when I moved Subways, he started going to that Subway because I guarantee you I was the only employee who would do that for him. Like, he would have me he would come in and have me do weird shit, and I would just have to like basically just make up the price. And I think I made that guy's day. I mean, he was still overcharged for what he was getting, but still, like, he was a good man. I don't know if he died, but he's probably really sad now that I'm not there.
Yeah.
And then
I should have done more shit like that, to be honest.
But then it got to the point though where I was at Subway for too long, Zach. Like, you got out, but it was like I was at the Damon store for a long time, and then I moved to another one for even longer. I think total I have like almost 3 years of Subway experience. And there was a point where there was this other Subway trying to hire me, and this was actually like a really pivotal grow up character development moment in my life. Okay, so at the second store I worked at, there was a after I left there, I started working at Outback, and I loved that job. I'm not there anymore, but it was great. But like like while I was working at Outback, occasionally the owner of the second store would message me and be like, "Hey, I'll give you $60 if you just watch the store for tonight." And so like I'm not technically an employee, and then she paid me in cash in brown paper bags too. So she would just give me, yeah, like she
It
would
was all
just
under
come
the
in,
table.
yeah, like all under the table. Like I'm pretty sure I didn't get any taxes from that. I'm not gonna say that. That was a joke. But I'm sorry,
Yeah.
we can't. Like, I'm not trying to slander Subway. It's not all Subways, but I think a lot of people see the same themes in the owners.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, no, I'll be
so
honest, I've really I've actually really enjoyed working there when I didn't have to deal with the owner.
yeah, exactly. No, yeah, when the owner wasn't there, I don't know. For some reason, they would just make me really uncomfortable because they were so like anal with the amount of stuff you give out, and like
Yeah.
they would watch you scoop steak, and they'd be like, "If because even if like the two scoops does not fill the bottom bun, the guy is still going to be like, you gave him too much. Like if you give him a
Oh
little
yeah, no,
extra,
they were
it
always
was."
like, and the customer was always like, if I give them like that much amount of steak, they were always like, that's not a lot. Like,
And
yeah, that's
there
how
was a
much they want to give you.
point where Damon hired, it wasn't his son, but he treated this guy like his son. It was like this other older man, and he invited, and then like he had that guy come in. I don't remember if they were friends or how they knew each other, but they were like really close. And then I was like, okay, Damon's gonna let him like probably like run the store more. I don't know, but this guy was a dick. Like he was worse like than Damon. Like it was ridiculous. Like this guy was actually just like Damon's kind of like lovable asshole, but then Damon hired like the biggest like asshole. And like there were so many times I almost quit just because of that man. We just did not get along. But then like after I left and I was at the second store, there was a point where they she had me come in and was just gonna pay me like under the table for the night. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was in there, and this other lady comes in to like borrow stuff from the store. I can't remember. It was like cucumbers or something, some sort of vegetable. And this lady comes in because she's going to borrow some, and she had actually talked to the owner and was greenlit. And she comes in and she starts trying to convince me to go work at her Subway. And at this point, this is why it was so pivotal because I was at Outback and I like loved my job. And I was like, I kept telling her, I was like, no, I have this other job and I really like it. And she was like, but I will give you the management position. And I remember because I got really excited and I was like, management position. That like sounds like that'd be good to have on, like
Yeah.
my experience and stuff. And I go there and it was kind of like the next day because she's gonna show me like around and stuff. Like I wasn't like I was basically hired, but like I wasn't like I hadn't say yes yet because I kept like I was kind of turning it down, but she convinced me to go look at it and decide if I wanted to like manage it. And I was sitting there in the chair, and then she was having me fill out an application. And I remember like middle of me filling it out, I started looking around and like I think maybe a tear went down one of my eyes, just a single tear, and I was like,
Yeah.
I don't want to work at another fucking Subway. And then I just stood up and I left. I said I'm sorry and I left.
Damn, movie moment.
And, like that was actually kind of a movie moment. Like it was a growing point. Like it was. I realized that you shouldn't ever work at Subway.
Yeah, that's the moral of the story. That's the moral of this podcast, folks. Don't work at Subway. Now, if we own the Subway,
Mm. That has been in the talks. Once this podcast money starts going through,
Yeah.
like coming through, when we start getting that podcast bank, when we start getting H3 money,
Yeah.
we are going to purchase that Subway. We're gonna
Yeah,
walk
that
in
one
and
in
say,
particular.
hey, yeah, that one in particular. We're gonna walk in and say, "Hey, Damon, you little bitch," and we're gonna grab him by the collar of his shirt and say, "We own this shit now," and then we throw him on the ground.
And we put up a big portrait of his face and say, "This man is not allowed in this store
This man
under any
sucks.
circumstances.
He's not getting our pepperonis.
He's gay and
We're
he
gonna-
cheats on his wife."
with his son.
No,
Oh,
that
wait, maybe
doesn't happen.
too
Yeah.
far.
That's too far. That's
Maybe
actual libel.
yeah. Him cheating on his wife is kind of like just like true probably, but yeah, I don't think he actually does it with his son.
Yeah, no, that's too
Sorry, I think I was still thinking about Tom Brady from last episode.
Yeah, might have been. I wouldn't say Tom Brady does that either. Let's not put that on the record.
I don't know, but I want to go on record and say we're the first podcast that fucking hates Tom Brady. So if you like Tom Brady, get out of here.
Yeah, I don't really have much of an opinion on Tom Brady, but
We don't like him.
Okay, yeah, we don't like him. We hate him.
Yeah, this podcast anti Tom Brady. We don't want any of that in here.
I don't even. Is he good? Is he like a?
Yeah, no, I think he's
football,
actually a
right?
really good dude. Like he's actually like an all around American guy, except he makes out with his kids.
Allegedly. Well, I mean, not allegedly, but
Not alleged. It's on camera.
it's on camera. Anyway, you have any other Subway stories before you wrap up?
Well, I have one that's kind of illegal. Well, I have two that's kind of illegal.
I think I know the one you're talking about. I don't know if you should.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I probably don't.
Probably should.
Like, yeah. No. It's not great.
This is kind of personal.
It's not great.
Not great. Not great.
Yeah.
Sorry to entice the audience with this one, but you don't need to hear it.
And if I can't say that, then I probably shouldn't say the other one either.
Do I even know the other one?
Equally incriminating. I don't think you do. It's not as bad as that one that you're thinking about, but it is kind of like it's just I don't know, not right.
Okay. I mean, it's up to you. I don't know.
I didn't do anything to the food. That's not what it was.
Okay.
I just gotta clarify that for people. I took so much care of that food, especially the seafood sensation.
Extra special care.
I was the only one who ate that at that store because every time a customer would come in and ask for it, we didn't have any made, and they didn't want to wait because I ate it all. Like that happened a lot.
I bet he was like, "Man, we keep running out of this stuff. People must love it. Keep ordering more."
That was probably why that didn't get
entirely you
canceled sooner. But I was eating it for free, so it wasn't even like
he's getting no money from it.
Yeah, he goes and checks the thing and is like $0 for seafood sensation over the last year.
Suspicious.
But that stuff was so good.
I don't understand.
Oh,
maybe someone in the audience can clarify if it was good or not, because it did not look good.
The second, or no, I don't know. Oh yeah, the second Subway I worked at, there was a point where like she would just watch me on the cameras for no reason, like I was her version of Friends. Like, because like Damon would sit in the office and watch Friends, and then she would be at her house watching me on her phone. There was one time I think I was singing some song out loud because I would play whatever music I wanted there on like my phone. There was
I would too. Yeah.
And then I was playing I was singing a song, and then she sends me a text from her house, and she goes, "A very good song."
That's creepy. You know what?
Yeah, no, it was.
Damon
so
probably could have been
weird.
listening to me doing shit too. Yeah. That's creepy. I don't like that.
Nice song. I think I was singing Breadline from Aladdin. I was jumping around with the footlong bread. I was reenacting that scene like where he's stealing the bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I thought you understood what I was saying.
I didn't. I didn't watch that movie.
Oh,
I never watched Aladdin. Strangely.
but you've read and then there
But
were
I've seen
none
the
by.
pants. I've seen the pants. I understood that reference.
Yeah, he gets the Aladdin. I've referred it. I don't know. Aladdin, yeah. It was just a big ball of Aladdin at that store.
Big ball of
Just
Aladdin.
leave it at that.
Yeah. But I guess before we end it, Frankie, do you want to apologize for not putting in that edit last time?
No,
And
no, no.
well, Frankie, you have to edit the podcast. Frankie, you have to edit this one and censor all the times Jack said the guy's actual name.
Me. Oh, me. Me, sir. We have beef with Jack.
Why are you like Gollum or are you like Jar Jar? I can't tell.
Misa Frankie.
Okay, Misa Frankie.
I don't know who you're referring to. But yeah,
I
so
think you've completely lost the plot.
But yeah, basically Frankie's just being a dick.
Yeah, do you think we should kick Frankie off and get a new guy?
Actually, I think that could be a good poll. Should we kick Frankie off? I already have other offers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You want to give us an inside scoop on who's being offered?
Well, I don't think he'll mind that I'm saying this because it was just I think I think it was actually funny, but like one day I woke up and I was so confused. I think it was like the day that the last one came out or the next day, but like I remember I was like just waking up and and Jacob Grayson, the guy who did our intro our intro music thing, he sent me like a Snapchat video and he's like, hey, if Frankie's out, maybe. And then he named that brown thing from Chowder. And then he started doing an impression of the brown
You
thing
mean the guy
from
that goes rada
Chowder.
rada?
Yeah, he kept doing that. It was like
Schnitzel?
I was really confused, but then later when I thought about it, I thought it was really fucking funny.
Yeah, Schnitzel would be a good fit, I think. What if he's got the editing skills?
Probably. If Frankie messes up one more time, he's out. But I think we should take votes.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, audience, do you like Frankie? Do you not like him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Frankie getting tired?
I'm getting fed up. Honestly. Anyway. Yeah, let us know. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Did you have anything? Did you have a fun word or?
Bye.